So Harvey, man, it's good to finally see you, catch up, and obviously go through some of our lovely questions that we got here. Oh, listen, ever since seeing you moving around here, practicing with the clients to train them how it's done, really, there's been so many questions in my mind. And obviously, I thought I'd start with some interesting ones. Tell us about a couple of the fighters that you train around and you do a bit of sparring with.
So I've been very lucky. So over
Okay.
my career, I've been really lucky. I've been doing this since I was technically I've been doing this since I was 6.
Okie
but
dokie.
I've been competing since 11. So 20
Whoa.
years in the game, and I still look
Yo.
like this.
That's crazy.
No, so about 20 years in the game. So I've actually had the pleasure of sharing the ring
Yep.
with a lot of fantastic fighters. I've been away with a lot of fantastic fighters, and more recently, I was in camp with people like Billy Joe Saunders,
Sick.
Dillian White, those kind of fighters. And then obviously when I was on the GB squad, that was when I sort of was training around AJ for a while. He was
easy.
always there. In terms of sparring, I've sparred some really good fighters. Galal Yafai is one that comes to
Wow,
mind.
world champion.
Yeah, well, he's literally Olympic champion.
Yeah.
He's en route to, he's actually in my weight in a minute, but he's en route to world honours.
Yeah.
He's like a golden boy.
Yeah.
And a fun fact, I actually beat him in the amateurs.
That must be quite an interesting dynamic because he comes from a family of fighters.
Yeah,
and you do so all that added pressure. Dude, I can't imagine what that's like.
It is. It's like a family affair, in it. But I mean, he has a really good group. Like his family.
Yeah.
Like Cal was a world champion.
Correct.
His middle brother was like I think the European champion. They've been around the block. But Galal was probably arguably one of the best ones. So
Most well-rounded for sure.
And I've done hundreds of rounds of him. Hundreds of rounds of him. He was one of my obviously sparring partners. I was there at the same time. I actually had a move around with. Have you heard of Rigondeaux?
Of course, he's a world champion.
So world champion, ex
Cuban.
Cuban.
A
So,
Cuban.
so when I say move around, very very light moves in Miami.
How skillful is he?
He made you feel like so. It's hard to explain. It's like trying to box a toddler. If you was to box a toddler now, that's how I felt like the toddler.
Oh
So
my
it's
God!
literally that.
Whoa.
Moving me around.
He's also got
playing-
experience, right?
experience, but just someone's just got pure. It's just natural talent. It's like unbelievable. And he actually watched me fight that against America in Miami.
Oh,
and I won.
Was that the last?
No, this was WSB. This was a long time ago. This was
Whoa.
2000.
See, I forget that you've actually been in the game for
I've
so
been
long.
in the game for a long time. So I was only 20. I was only
And
20.
by your route through the GB squad, from what I remember, discussing with you, it's kind of giving you so much experience.
Massive experience.
And not only just for, technically what you need to do in the ring, it's about what you need to do outside the ring as well. And I'd love to know more about that.
Of
man.
course. I mean,
so much part of the game is performing,
So I think that's the problem with it. I mean, briefly touched on it there, but with the with boxing, all fighters want to do is fight. Everyone wants to fight. But it's a short career, and there's a lot of stuff after boxing. Obviously, there's a life after boxing. And a lot of fighters. I would actually, one of my personal goals is to actually get into something afterwards where there's some kind of program or route for boxers that are currently fighting to sort of get into 100%. So they know there's a world outside
using their experience is so unique.
Exactly. Exactly. It's not just
and their mentality that's been formed through all that, it's so valuable to be able to share with maybe non-fighters,
100%,
upcoming fighters. But that's quite funny. We always discussed this about your brother. Oh, really? He's obsessed about the whole fight aspect of it.
Exactly. So, like I say, he's a young fighter, and at the minute, everything is just boxing. Wants to fight, and he loves it. And don't get me wrong, most fighters who are doing it, we're all a bit fucking crazy because we all just want to fight. But as I'm getting older, I'm realizing there is a life after boxing, and there's it's a lot bigger than your life inside boxing, a lot longer. So there needs to be direct routes or at least awareness of what's going on after.
100%,
programs,
I agree with you.
Training, coaching.
Do you think from being in like gyms like this where you get to interact with maybe day-to-day people who are working and just come and experience a boxing session with you, and there's kind of like an exchange of ideas and
knowledge,
and that kind of gives you the inspiration and the notice that, oh man, there's a huge world out here. I can apply my experience and collaborate with so many people.
100%. We're so lucky to be in this environment in particular as well, in the heart of Mayfair. We are so lucky to have clientele that are super friendly, but they impart this sort of knowledge on you where they let you know the world is bigger outside of your boxing. We give them our knowledge, like how to fight, how to defend themselves, how to learn a new skill. they, like say, I learned so much from just talking to my clients.
And being in that present.
Exactly.
And I've noticed that Louis, because he's come and, you know, started helping out more and he's doing so wicked and amazing. I feel like that he mentioned something to me last week where he's like, yeah, I'm actually really enjoying it. Don't know why, like, it's even nice to build someone up from the ground up. And from what I see, when it's done by you guys and some of the coaches in here, it's so amazing to see someone from a, you know, crawling stage to walking and to build up from the ground up under such good tutelage and guidance. And you know what, it's really cool to see that happen,
I think so, but I mean, you're
spreading
playing
the love of the sport,
yeah.
I think, almost.
Exactly.
You know? Everyone knows about it, but then until you walk and hold hands with someone who's been there, you get to really see and experience a lot more than just, you know, the blood and the
100%, 100%.
So where you at now?
So if I was to describe it, I mean, in my career, I'm nearly 30 now. So for a lighter fighter, it's your career's a little bit shorter because
100%.
the first thing to go is the reaction time and speed.
Yes, yeah.
And that's one of the things I'm known for. I'm not.
Do you find it hard
artist.
to make weight?
It's getting harder. It's getting harder.
Your metabolism slows down.
The metabolism slows. More so your bone density. You sort of grow into that man strength. You're a little bit heavier.
So you're harder to
denser.
lose weight.
Yeah, so don't get me wrong, gives you an advantage to a point. I'm a little bit stronger now. But there was
and you've seen a lot of fighters.
Yeah. But in terms of career, I'd say I'm sort of in the autumn of my career. I'm coming to that. I'm having a last few good fights. I've got a fantastic one lined up in June.
I was about to say, are you building up to some sort of crescendo here?
Exactly. There's one more bit. We've got one big one coming up.
I keep hearing rumors, and I can't wait until you drop the news.
As soon as it drops, we go from there. It'll be a huge one.
Yeah, maybe we can get an exclusive, or at least a decent public workout.
100%. Yeah. Oh man, that'd be great.
All the clients in here, they want to see you.
That'd be great. But yeah, so then that's obviously on the agenda. We get a nice big one there, and then from there, who knows? Who knows? We don't know. I've been very stagnant in my career through injuries.
Yes.
Stuff like
COVID
that.
as well.
COVID as well. Stopped it. 2 years off your career. It's a long time.
What is the most challenging part of your career thus far, if you don't mind sharing it?
So I would say, I think it briefly touches on the point we made earlier about not knowing about life after boxing. So there was a point during COVID and things like that when you've got no money. Most boxers are in the same boat. People think we're earning Mayweather and AJ money. It's not like that. You know better than anyone. It's not like that.
But you still have to put that hard.
You have to
harder
hustle.
work.
You have to hustle just to fight. I know fighters that are boxing and they're paying out of their pocket to actually
and they can't
fight.
get anyone to fight.
It's crazy. So unless you've got the backing of huge promoters, and don't get me wrong, there is a 1 to 5% that do. And but again, it's one of the toughest one during COVID. I would say one of my biggest challenges was how am I going to get through that sort of the mental struggle of I've got no money. I don't know what I'm going to do here. I was lucky enough to be living with my dad, my parents. So, but there's a lot of fighters that had bills to pay. So it was hard for me at my time. Like my perspective, it was really hard. But I know fighters that was going through it. They hit them with their bottom, you know, like. And then from there it spirals off. Boxing is such one of those sports where the highs are like this, and then when you're not getting them, where do you get it? Where do you get it elsewhere? It's like most boxers are gamblers. They're boozers. They party.
And we
do to extremes.
Yes,
because we cut weight to extremes. We fight to extremes. We train to extremes. So it's only right that we go crazy to
intense levels of stimulation.
Exactly. So when you look at challenges like that, I think the challenge is keeping your head down and hoping that the gamble will pay off.
Definitely. That belief in the overall journey. So talk to me about your personal life. You know, and your life from outside of boxing. It's a funny one I wanted to mention to you because myself, I've started a family about 7 months ago. And, you know, initially, it's maybe something that I thought of as a kid. Of course, I have to have a family. I love my family. It gives a lot. But then when you're enjoying your 20s and 30s and you're probably busy working, you're not really, predicting that. But you're coming to your 30s and there's no pressure or anything. But I do see you, with a beautiful better half, shall we say? And I know you love her so much. So is that in the horizons for you? Your fatherhood and maybe planning a family?
I think so. I mean, I come from. I've got 2 brothers, as you know. I've got 2 brothers. I was in a household of all boys. My mum was basically a fella anyway. She played football. She She made sure that sports days she would win them. You know, like she trained for sports day for all of our primary school.
It's in the blood.
It's compared. So she was as masculine as she could get. Like, so she compete with us. She'd have to compete with us.
Yeah.
So it was one of those households where it was competitive. We was fighting. It was carnage. I want that family unit. So
Beautiful.
I've always wanted to. I've always wanted kids. And like I say, my missus is a little bit older than me.
Okay.
And
she looks so young, though.
She looks fantastic. I mean,
what's going on over there?
I know. Do you know?
Wait, can I ask you? Has she always trained that hard, or is that a thing that maybe you've?
So
she trains hard.
Nah, so she trains hard. But she trains hard for herself. If you compete with her, it sounds ridiculous, but this sticks in my mind because we nearly broke up over it. So
you might need to cut that one out.
No, she'll tell you. She'll tell you. The competitive edge. She's a fantastic trainer. She trains hard. She puts in the work. She doesn't have the competitive edge that I have. So the competitive spirit that I have. So we played a game. What's that game when you have to talk? You have to explain what the card says without saying the word, and they have to guess.
I know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm on about. So it's the
and sometimes you stick it here in your head.
Yeah, but but
you can't see it, but you have to say it.
You know what that game is, don't you? It's a card, and you read the word off, and they guess it, and then you put the card down, and you go again. So she is, bearing in mind, she's got an IQ of something ridiculous. She's got a doctorate. Yeah. She's very, very smart. I barely finished GCSE. Right? Barely finished GCSE. I've got to scrape through.
We can leave this part out, but me too. Unfortunately,
education wasn't my forte, so to speak. So anyway,
I think I got there late and then there.
I'm playing my two brothers, right? Who, when you talk about education, Louis didn't finish, and Finn is just as bad, right?
Oh God,
they're just like boxing and fighting.
I can see some patterns over here with us.
This is us. They beat us. They beat us in. I will think of the game. It's driving me mad. They beat us, and I kicked off because obviously she's not explaining properly. She's like, it's just a game. It's just a game. I was like, no, you don't understand. You're making me question this relationship. And it led to a really bad argument, to be fair. But in answer to your question, she trains very hard. She does what she needs to do. She knows the benefits of exercising. Right. She loves boxing, as you've seen. And she's quite good.
Definitely.
But
definitely.
She never got no ambition to compete. Wouldn't want to compete. She loves her job. She's good at what she does. She just loves her training. And for this fight I've got coming up, she's basically been, she's like my personal nutritionist. She's my personal chef, really. She gets the nutritionist plan.
She knows it from a scientific.
She does it, and obviously Japanese and French. Like she's part Japanese, part French.
I find the Japanese
food is fantastic.
Diet overall for health and stuff amazing.
I mean, they live till hundreds. I think it's
random one. Do you ever worry about heavy metals in the fish?
So she now is sort of the microplastics one is the one that we're on to at the minute. We're trying to move out of that. Me personally, I take it with a pinch of salt. I feel like if you're too strict on everything, it's like, what do you eat? What do you eat? And in the fitness industry as well, you only got to look at Instagram reels. Everything is just, it's all shit now. It's like, it's crazy.
Isn't it weird how the fitness industry has now started to creep into the boxing industry? In the 80s, the fighters would be like, oh, we got training in 3-4 hours. Drop past Wendy's, 4-piece with some cola, or maybe we'll hold a soda.
Yeah, exactly.
But then, they were competing at 12+ rounds and doing multiple fights a year. How much do you think that the overall awareness of nutrition or the quality of food has maybe changed?
Yeah, well, this is the thing. I mean, the quality of food, I don't know over the years. I don't know, but I try and eat organic. I try and
really
be as clean as possible. I do like chocolate. I do like a snack, which is my downfall. I like a bit of refined sugar. I can't help it.
You know what? Once or twice I've gone on your Instagram and I've always seen some nice fine dining as well. You forgot to mention the fine dining.
Funnily enough, I train a lot of chefs. So
I was just going to say, aren't you
I'm quite lucky.
Famous for training the best chefs in London?
So I train some of the best chefs. I mean, like some of the Michelin star chefs around.
I would say one thing. I would never know that those guys are chefs when they come here because they look pretty more. They look like either like active or retired fighters.
Well, I mean, if you look at Jason, so Jason's been a long time client and friend, to be fair. Jason,
he's super cool, man.
Super cool. Can box, can fight. He's aggressive.
He's the main guy that I was kind of alluding to.
Yeah, so
I wasn't sure.
He's great. He's great. I mean, he's loved his boxing forever, but I've been with him for 3 years now.
Sick. And, it's really good what you've been doing. The work you guys do, I'm very impressed.
I seem
to keep him balanced. That he gets trained up before he goes out to do like a long shift till I'm sure he finishes late.
He
His
finishes late.
restaurants
Yes,
are popping.
but this is why I learn so much from these sort of these clients I train, like Jason E. I talk to him. I learn so much from him.
Yeah.
But it's also the mindset of high performance outside of boxing.
Boom.
So our high performance is training hard, eating well.
Yeah.
These do that, and they do the same thing. They take it to a whole nother level. If you want that 1%,
Literally, yeah.
they're on this level, and we're surrounded by so many of them. It's like how our habits are going to become the same. We're gonna be doing the same.
That's exactly what I'm hoping for, because that successful energy and vibe, it truly is infectious. And every time I see him come in and then he's more excited to go to the restaurant, I'm like, oh,
I agree.
this guy is a legend.
Yeah.
Now we need to maybe approach the conversation as to when do you think Gordon Ramsay's going to sign the contract?
I mean, I know Jason would have that all day long. He would have.
He's already signed the contract, and we've had it in our office for a few months now, but for some reason we're having a bit of trouble getting through to the...
I think Jason would struggle to match Jason, because he, like you say, he's got knockout power. I'm not just saying that either. He's got knockout. He's a bit of a freak.
We should probably keep it a bit more on the
I'll
D
keep it,
low,
yeah, so
otherwise
we
we'll
might
never
have to
find
cut
him a
that out,
fight, you know?
But yeah, I think Gordon maybe a little bit older than him now.
Yeah.
I don't think he would want it.
I don't know, man. Gordon seems like he's got the heart of a fighter. He's definitely got the...
He's got the aggression.
You know what I mean? So he could be a dark horse, you know, in this game. I'd love to get him down and have a training session with him. Maybe,
that'd be great. Yeah.
Maybe you know, abuse the guys up at the cafe
What
for not doing the right smoothies or whatever. But you know, this game has brought us so much entertainment and so much lessons that maybe we missed out on in school.
Yes, sure.
And all I got to say is, you know, I've been so blessed to be working alongside you and just learning from your journey, plus getting good energy from you.
I appreciate it.
It's making this life so enjoyable, and also in working in a company and an industry like this, it gives me so much joy. And I look forward to seeing you on your next fight. And win, lose, or draw, we got your back half. You know this.
Appreciate it, my man.
Come on, fam.
Thank you very much.
Me and Harvey, so